What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm going to preview and predict Sunday's matchup between my Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins, man. You know, before I get into this video, man, I hope every one of you had a safe and happy Merry Christmas. You know, this is a great time of the year. You know, I enjoyed my Christmas with my family and friends yesterday. I hope all y'all did as well. You know, Merry Christmas. We know the story with my Eagles right now, man. You know, after the tough loss against the Dallas Cowboys on the road in overtime, Carson Wentz has a back issue. In inserts Nick Foles. We go play the LA Rams on the road where everybody, including myself, thought we had no chance of winning that game. And Nick Foles has a magical performance. We hold on and beat the heavily favored Rams, 30-23. We come home to the Lynx Sunday. You know, we got a 30, but we was up 30 to 17 or something no. We was up 29-16. I'm sorry. We was up 29-16. Looked like we about to handle business. Josh Adams fumbles the ball. Next thing you know, man, the Houston Texans are up 30-29. Then, you know, even though he completed a pass to Alshon Jeffrey, Nick Foles was hurt. And you seeing the Dallas Cowboys wrapped up the NFC East, so you knew we ain't had, you know, our chances of winning the division was over. You seen the Minnesota Vikings pretty much ran away from the Detroit Lions. So during that drive, man, you looking at Nick Foles on the ground, it's like, man, like we lose this game, the season is over. We lose this game, the season is over, man. Not only does Nick Foles come back in and lead us in field goal range, you know, also credit to Jake Elliott. He kicked that kick right down the middle, man. And here we are, still alive, man. We need a little help, but we still alive. You know, and as far as the Washington Redskins, you know, they started off pretty hot with Alex Smith. And ironically, when they played the Houston Texans, you know, he broke his leg to where it looked like also had an infection with prayers for him. You know, it looked like it's a chance it may be a career-ending injury. You know, then we played him last time, and in comes Colt McCoy, and he breaks his leg. You know, prayers for him also. And in comes Mark Sanchez, who obviously I think we all would agree that he shouldn't be a quarterback in the NFL anymore. And he stinks it up against us, stinks it up against the Giants. In comes Josh Johnson. They get a nail bite against the Jaguars, but then they go down to Tennessee and, you know, their season basically ends against the Titans. You know, not only does their season end, they surprisingly cut DJ Swearinger, who I think is a really good safety, who just got claimed by the Arizona Cardinals for some critical comments he made about their defensive coordinator, Greg Minuski. And here we are, man. Week 17, Eagles trying to get in the playoffs, Redskins trying to play spoilers. When I look at the Washington Redskins, they've had a lot of injuries, man. You know, they had a lot of injuries, yo. But at the same time, I also want to let you Redskins fans know, as far as when it comes to y'all football team, I don't like y'all. I can't stand y'all. I'm enjoying the fact that y'all missing the playoffs. Since we got that out of the way, you know, yeah, this team has had a lot of injuries. Like, they've had a lot of injuries, you know, to be fair to them. Obviously, the biggest one is Alex Smith. You know, they're even back to the preseason. Their young rookie, second-round pick, Darius Geis, who I wanted my Eagles to draft in the draft. You know, he tore his ACL in the preseason, even though Adrian Peterson has played pretty well for them. Their receiving core, they lost Paul Richardson, they free agent signing that they got from the Seattle Seahawks. You know, he's been out. You know how Jordan Reed is, man. He's either playing and playing great, or he's nicked up playing bad, or he's not playing at all. You know the deal with him. And, yeah, they've had a lot of injuries, man. A lot of injuries. But they have a solid defense. You know, they have a solid defense. Their defense has been solid all season long, with the exception of maybe a couple of games. You know, they've been okay running the ball. It's just they don't have much of a vertical passing game, especially now with Josh Johnson. He's better than Mark Sanchez. Let me say that. But, you know, he's dangerous with his mobility, but he doesn't really scare you as a passer right now. But, you know, with his mobility and he could throw on a run a little bit, he could be a little dangerous. And you know Adrian Peterson, they're going to keep pounding it with Adrian Peterson in there. And defensively, you know, they got guys like Ryan Kerrigan. They got the Alabama D linemen and Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. You know, Mason, I want to say his name, Mason Foster is that linebacker, that good linebacker they have. You know, they got Josh Norman in the secondary. He ain't what he used to be, but he's still a solid corner. And they got Clinton Dix, who they traded for in midseason from the Packers. But now they missing DJ Swearinger. Like, that's a big loss. He was a leader of that defense. He brought a little swagger to that defense. I don't know who they're going to put back there in his position, you know. And as far as us, obviously, you know, Jason Peters is a little banged up, but this is the same offensive line unit we had in the playoffs last year. You know, with Jason Kelsey and Brandon Brooks, who made the Pro Bowl again, Steven Wisniewski, Lane Johnson, and Big V Halaputi Vaitai. Nick Foles is back there at quarterbacks playing as great, looking like he did in the NFC Championship and Super Bowl. The running game is a little inconsistent, man, with Josh Adams. He's been disappointing me lately. But, I mean, he is an undrafted rookie. Smallwood and here and there get his shots, but Sproles has been a huge boost for this offense. And the receiving core, man, you know, we just activated Mike Wallace off of IR. Now, will he play this week? That's yet to be determined. But if he does, that's another vertical threat this offense has been missing. But you got Alshon Jeffrey coming into his own. You got Nelson Aguilar coming into his own. You got Zach Ertz, who is the best route running tight end we have in football. You know, you still got, even though he been quiet since we got him, you got Golden Tate, who you still got to respect. This defensively, Fletcher Cox is playing great on that D-line. Brandon Graham is getting after the quarterback. Chris Long, Michael Bennett. You know, we got Jordan Hicks back last week. Jordan Hicks and Nigel Bradham holding it down at linebackers. And in the secondary, obviously, that's our weak suit of the team. But Avantae Maddox has played really well since he's come back. He looks like a solid outside corner right now. And you know what, Doug? You know what you're going to get Rasul Douglas? You're going to get good plays, you're going to get bad plays. You're going to get an interception, and you're going to get a 70-yarder over his head. Like, that's just what you get with Rasul Douglas. And in the safety position, you know, Malcolm Jenkins is still steady back there holding it down. And, you know, we throw Trey Sullivan and Corey Graham at the other safety position. And, you know, they playing okay right now. And special teams, man, Sproles back there returning punch. Boston Scott gave us a nice kickoff return last week. Cameron Johnson has been booming punts all year. And Jake Elliott, you know, he's a little inconsistent. But he came up with he comes up with clutch kicks, though. I'll say that. When I look at this matchup, man, our offense versus their defense, like I said, they have a solid defense, but I think them missing DJ, even though I know he wasn't a great cover safety, I think they're going to miss DJ Swearinger's leadership back there in that secondary. Especially if we could get Mike Wallace back this week, you know, as that vertical threat going down the field. Alshon Jeffrey is doing this thing right now. Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz. I feel like we should be able to move the ball, you know, decently against them. I worry about trying to run the football, but, you know, we still got to try to grind out some yards. You know, we still got to try to grind out some yards. But I feel like we should move the ball a little bit on them. And when you look at the other side of the football, their offense versus our defense, you know, we gotta key in on Adrian Peterson, obviously. Last time we played him, he hit us for a 90-yard run, but the rest of the game, we pretty much shut him down. The offensive line is a little banged up. I mean, our front four, we got to, I mean, Trent Williams is still a great left tackle. He's still out there. But we got to get after that offensive line. Josh Johnson does scare me with his mobility. You seen what Deshaun Watson, his mobility was able to do to us. But I feel like if we got to keep him in the pocket and force him to make throws down the field. You know, they don't have a great receiving core, you know. So when I look at the game overall, man, my prediction, I think my Eagles beat the Washington Redskins 34-20. I think we win this game 34-20. I think we move the ball pretty solidly offensively. And defensively, I think we give up a little bit of plays, but I think we come up with stops when we need to come up with stops. But the big key, you know, as big as this is for us to win this game, obviously, it's two fan bases that I wanna reach out to right now. I want to reach out to the Chicago Bears, and I also want to reach out to the San Francisco 49ers. Actually, San Francisco 49ers, it really start with y'all. Because if y'all been playing pretty solid lately. Y'all been playing spoiler really good lately, yo. I need y'all to, if y'all don't beat the Rams, at least make this a game, man. Make this a game. Make the Los Angeles Rams sweat. Make them really have to play this game out. Because if y'all do that, that means the Chicago Bears going to have to play a full 60 minutes against the Minnesota Vikings to try to knock them off. You see, if y'all go out there and the Rams beating y'all 21-0 in the second quarter, Matt Nagy's going to pull his players. And into the playoffs is the Minnesota Vikings, basically. So San Francisco 49ers, it start with y'all. If y'all could go out there and if not beat the Rams, at least give the Rams, at least make the Rams play a full 60 minutes to beat you. And if the Chicago Bears could go out there and run the football on the Vikings and play great stifling defense and pull out that win in Minnesota and we handle our business against the Redskins like I believe we will, my Eagles will get in the playoffs. So San Francisco 49ers fans and Chicago Bears fans, hey, from the Eagles Nation, from the bottom of my heart, we need you. Please help us out. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have Eagles content throughout the season. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.